All right, a little bit of a different story for the videos we're doing today. We're doing a lot of Epstein videos today. If you do not follow my YouTube channel and this is the first video you've seen from me, after this video, go look at the rest of my channel and see what I've been talking about. Today we have a big Epstein update, but for this particular video, this is about Meta and AI. AI being one of the most or one of the topics that I'm most interested in as far as covering and looking at what's going to happen with it in the next 5 years. And then Meta being interesting because that's one of the biggest companies that's going to be involved in AI, right? So Meta has patented an AI that can keep a deceased person's account active and running, posting, messaging, and video calling by using their behavior from past data. Okay, now this was something that was sent to me from a friend of mine. Anytime I'm sent a tweet, I always go and look up an article, see if it's real, try to do like a tad bit of research. But he sent me originally, the friend that it was originally sent me this, right? This whole thing together. So that's the tweet that it's quoting, but this is where it's from. And this is a 4chan. Today's news 3 years ago. This is a 4chan post that was posted on February 23rd of 2023. I'm a Meta, and let's keep in mind, this is a 4chan user, and this is about that quoted tweet that Meta has created this AI that can keep your account running, whether you want to take a mental break from social media or whether someone dies, it's able to keep their accounts running. This is a real thing. They did get this patent in December. Death isn't the end. This is a Business Insider article that I'm going to go into. But first, I want to go to this 4chan post, which basically has someone that's saying they worked in Meta on a Project Lazarus that basically was talking about this technology 3 years ago. And the thing that's interesting to me is, so often, and we talked on my channel about a 4chan user who posted something in response to Jeffrey Epstein, and it's, this is interesting because I think with technology and with things going on in the world right now, we should be looking forward at the path that we're on, because I think AI, I think where we're going with wars, I think we're going with where we're going with the way this country is being ran, we could be going somewhere and ending up at a place we don't even realize. So I think it's interesting to look at things like this from years ago that are coming into fruition and try to put that into today's world where what's going on around us, what are people saying, what kind of things are we maybe seeing on certain platforms or certain people say that might not be being propped up on certain news like channels. What type of stories are going on like that we maybe need to be believing and looking in at the moment, right? I know that was a little bit of a long intro, but let's look at this. I'm a Meta insider working on Project Lazarus. We're building an AI that can take over a deceased person's social media accounts and continue making relevant posts as if that person is still alive. This includes age-progressed photos, interacting with other people's content, and everything else needed so the person continues on the digital realm after physical death. So it's everything. Reels, posts, comments. We were originally told this would be a service offered to people struggling with the loss of loved ones. This is where it gets Black Mirror. All right? A service offered to people struggling with the loss of loved ones and people who had missing children. Seemed like a decent idea. Things are getting weird now. And I'm having second thoughts about what this is actually going to be used for. The AI is extremely capable of impersonating people. It doesn't take as much initial input as one might think to train the AI how a certain person interacts with the digital world. So, impersonating people. So, could they be using this to make a social media account for someone and saying it's someone that it's not? How smart can this AI be? Obviously, that's some Black Mirror stuff that I think 100% no one's going to say this couldn't happen, right? That there's a technology that they're using to help people who are dealing with grief, which is arguable in itself in the theme of that, which I'll touch on. But then there's also just the theme of this being used for evil and the company doing this. And is Meta doing this to maybe help certain people impersonate people? I know I'm doing a lot of jumping around and maybe not getting to a point, but I feel like you guys know where I'm getting at and what I'm saying, right? Okay. And it doesn't take as much initial input as one might think. It's very convincing. An entire island of people could go missing, and with little to no downtime, the AI could take over all their social media, and the world wouldn't have a clue that life wasn't just continuing as usual. A lot of the project is becoming more compartmentalized, which means, I would say that means that there's different departments and they're not working together, they're staying separate. So you work on this, but you don't talk to them about what you're working on because for whatever reasons. But obviously, if you're like, oh, you're building, like if you're like building like a machine or something, and you're like, oh, you're building like a something that does missiles, and like you're building something that's able to hold extreme heat. And it's like you're building something like it's like, oh my god, we're building a. Well, yeah, I think that's what they're saying. Like compartmentalizing, so we're not able to tell what we're building. Right? Things have taken a dark turn. It feels like they've forbidden communication between people working on different things. That's a different way of saying the project is becoming compartmentalized. I feel like something isn't right, and I don't know what I should do. I'm not going to post any personally identifiable information, but I will try to answer questions. And then so I saw a lot of this. I had to go and look at. First off, did Meta make this AI, and did they patent this AI? Yes, they did, right? This is a Business Insider article. I'll post the link to it on the YouTube video in the comments for this. Also, the link to the tweet. So, obviously, I believe that this can be used to impersonate people, and that you let your mind wander, right? And that's one of the things of AI that terrifies me. I'll not read the whole thing, but let's read a little bit of this. Can you guys see? Okay. The language model may be used for simulating the user when the user's app is absent from social media networking. So it's basically saying it's presenting it as you can use it if you want to take a social media break. Why would you want to take a social media break but then have social media still acting as you? They say because your followers will miss you. I think the argument is the reason you want to get away from social media is to maybe get away from your followers, and the people that you want to talk to should be able to have access to you in real life. But maybe I'm old school, but that's how they're packaging it, right? And they're also saying it could be used for dead family or deceased past family owners, right? And again, I'm going to get to my opinions on that in a second, which a lot of people could have. There's 7 stages of grief. A lot of people deal with grief differently. So I do understand that and feel like that is fair, right? A break from social media or you die, your followers' user experience will be affected, and your followers' user experience will be affected. In short, they'll miss you, right? And this is coming from Andrew Bosworth. Meta's CTO is listed as the primary author of the patent. So Andrew Bosworth, the chief technology officer of Meta, he is the one that put in this patent to create this AI that can simulate people's social media after they've passed, right? Okay. I think it's important to see what people look like. Okay, create a digital clone. It does comments, likes. That's what we went through already. And this is interesting to me. The Meta spokesperson said that while it files patients to disclose concepts, a granted patent does not always mean the company will pursue, develop, or implement that tech. So basically, and it also says somewhere in it that even though they put in this patent and it was accepted, they do not want to use this tech. To me, let me know in the comments if I'm tweaking. I do not understand. That doesn't make sense to me, and they definitely want to use this tech. They definitely want to use this tech, even if not now, down the line. And even if not in the way that it's being presented to us for them to be able to get the patent, right? They're not creating tech this powerful, for lack of a better word, that can be used in so many different ways for good or bad. They're not creating it and getting permission to use it for no reason. So it's interesting that they're putting out there that just because we're doing it doesn't mean we want to do it when we know they want to do it. Okay. Tech grief. So this is a little section of them talking about tech grief, which is basically technology that helps people get over death. And it can be used in a lot of different ways. And it talks about how Meta has been ahead, or at the forefront of this grief tech for a while. I mean, if someone has lost a loved one and is grieving, there may be ways in which being able to interact or retrieve certain memories can be helpful. Zuckerberg said at a time, this was at a podcast, so he was basically saying if someone dies, maybe reliving certain moments. That makes my mind think of like a picture, and you can take those pictures and then AI can make them move. I do not like those. Those freak me out. I hate seeing any pictures of me in AI moving. I hate seeing any AI pictures of me, period. AI pictures of me moving, disturb me to the greatest amount. I'm just getting close to like the AI pictures and using them for like thumbnails and stuff like that, but I still like to use like screenshots. Like I guess I'm old school, but AI videos of me scare me. They creep me out. So and of a dead family member, like I'm literally reading it right now, and there's like a scene in it that just happened where Benny or Ben, no Bill. I get Ben and Bill mixed up. But Bill Denborough was like looking at a picture of like a one of his like dead family members. I'm gonna read the book or like follow my channel. I'll be talking about the book. But the like the photo in the book, like the eyes moved and like it was like a haunted thing. It's a horror book, and that's what this makes me think of, like a horror movie. It just scares me. I it's something spiritually that bothers me, and that makes me just get to the last part of this, which is let the dead be dead. This is from a who said this? Joseph Davis, a sociology professor. Sociology is basically seeing how, you know what sociology is. It's how a group of people deal together, like a group of people deal together or work together to create a culture, or like how people work together, how cultures work together to be differently. All right, that's my off the bat. It's the study of society, human social behavior, interaction, a group of humans interacting together and how they're going to act, right? So he's a sociology professor at the University of Virginia, said he was concerned with the impact that tools like Meta could have on how humans experience grief. One of the tasks of grief is to face the actual loss. I agree with that. Let the dead be the dead, Davis added. The idea of bringing them back, but you're not really doing that. But in fact, it looks like that. That's the confusion, right? And I just think these bots can be used like what was implied in this, like what was implied in this 4chan post, in this tweet. It can be used to do evil things, but I also think just simply, even if it is used for what it's made for, which it could be, but I also think it won't. I think it's a it's I don't like to judge people, I guess, and especially something so serious or dealing with death. It's not the way I would want to deal with a deceased family member. And I don't think you're able to appreciate their life and understand what death is and the meaning of that, and how that also connects to your own life, and what you are and what you believe as a human. Every belief system is different when it comes to death and deceased family members. But I think when you use technology, things that are just not human, that are not fundamental to nature, to grieve with death, it can have a dangerous effect on people. This technology is interesting. I'm going to continue to cover AI. Follow this channel for that. Follow this channel for book reviews, like I'm going to do with it, like I did a couple minutes there. Follow this channel for the AI, not AI, for the Epstein coverage that I'm going to be doing for a while. It's out right now. I filmed them today. So if you're watching this video, follow me for the Epstein coverage, because if you do not know about Epstein, if you do know about Epstein, you should just be getting coverage. You should be telling people to watch, because it is crazy. And you should also get people to realize and think about AI as well. So if you're watching this full 13 minutes, I appreciate it. Thank you. And that's a wrap on that. Go watch another video.